I'm soldering this window that I started on about a week ago. I haven't soldered it, and it's oxidized a little bit, so I'm just going to take some steel wool and lightly, in fact you could just drag it across your joint very lightly. It's not going to hurt your window. And it's actually good that we're doing this, because some people have run into this where family emergencies got in the way or what have you. I found a couple different methods that seem. This is paint on the back of the glass. A lot of times paint companies will identify the type of glass and use a paint pen. You could steel wool that off as well. It won't hurt anything. You want to be very light with your steel wool because you don't want to hurt your foil, by the way. And some foil, I use venture tape. It's the best. It's thick. I only use blackback foil, by the way. I don't care if it's oh, there goes the pixie bob. Get out of the way. I don't care if it's opal glass that I can see through or not. I only use blackback foil, because sometimes you'll see a wispy glass and you see copper through it, and I only use black patina. It looks really tacky to me. So that's one of the things. Let's see, this iron is not ready yet, I don't think. Oh, it is ready. I only use blackback foil. It's only 50 cents a roll cheaper or thereabouts, so it really doesn't make a big difference to me for 50 cents. I just prefer. I do not leave windows silver. I patina them black. Some people like copper and brass. I do not care for that look. It looks too fake to me. I only like the black back. So this window is going to take several hours to solder this whole back. As you can see, I'm taking my time. I'm going slow. And when you've got this many inches of solder to do, it's going to take some time. So I'm using 2 irons on open full bore. I have no rheostat. I'm fighting my solderability because this window, I wasn't watching. The foil oxidized a little bit, so it'll take a little bit longer. It's worth it. You don't want to stay in one area too long, so once you've been putzing around in one area, get that desired effect that you want and get out of there. Go to another area that you know is cooled down by now and get out of the original area. This allows the glass to cool down so you don't break it. That has happened in the past to me, spending too much time in one area. The solder can go through the window, and on this side it'll go on the towel, which I don't want it to do. So when the solder is not cooperating with you, or the foil, just go to another area. You can come back to it. It'll still be there when you get back. Better to leave the window, to leave an area intact, than to have it break the piece of glass by spending too much time on it, gathering too much heat and breaking on you. I have to keep in mind the length of this video, so obviously I've got the joy of doing this whole window, to solder this whole window up. So I just wanted to start a little area for you. I'm the type of person that when I solder, I want it to be done as I go. Unless I see 1 or 2 little areas, little flat areas, I do not come back. This is it. It's set in stone once I solder it. For the most part. I do like to look at my window when I'm done for that last minute, in case I see a little flat spot. What I mean by flat spot is I want this solder beaded up as high as it can go. In other words, you want your solder lines nice and high. I don't like flat solder. It looks anemic. You want to put your solder up at the top of the solder tip so that by the time it comes from here to the bottom, it's good and hot and it flows really well. Some people apply the solder right at the end of the tip and they're not getting that good bead. You can, I mean, I can do it, but I'm used to soldering. I've soldered miles. But it flows better when you run it off the top of your iron and allow it to go down that iron, to me. It's not just because it works for me doesn't mean it's law, it's the truth or whatever. It's what works for me. And basically this whole video is just showing you what works for me. That's all I'm doing. And I get good results when I take my time soldering. Some people can't tell where I started and stopped. I know the quality of this video is not showing that, but if you could see my piece up close, if you go to my website at allthingsdichroic.com, you could see some of my soldering. I plan on doing live streaming video soon, so that I'll be soldering a project a week or my live session. If you're interested in knowing a little bit more about that, I plan on going live, perhaps on a weekly basis soon, where I'll be able to work on a window every week, talk out loud. If I can get a partner to help me, we can do a call-in type of thing. So anyway, that's what I plan on doing. We'll see if I can get that done. That's what my hope is. Keep in mind I'm a yacky person, so if you like yacky and learning along the way, then we'll be just fine. If you just want me to be quiet, I don't know if you're going to learn a lot. Anyway, you get the idea of it. I've got to be mindful of the length of this video and watch my other videos. And thank you for tuning in, by the way. Appreciate the feedback and the emails off of YouTube. So, next video.